What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I have a really quick video just covering one key change that happened with the Season 3 update, and this was a nerf to the lasers in the game. In the patch notes, they just have a very vague description that says laser brightness increased, but they didn't go into any more depth as to like which lasers the brightness had increased on, or if it was just all of them across the board. So that's what we're going to be testing today, and this is quite important because I will actually be adjusting some of my class setups after doing this testing. But diving right in, the most commonly used laser, at least for me, and I know a lot of other people like this as well, is the OLE-V or the VLK 7mW laser. They're effectively the exact same thing, they just have a different name depending on which gun you're putting it on. This is the laser that helps with your aiming stability, your aim down sight speed, and your sprint out speed, and the only downside here is the fact that the laser beam is visible. And with this, we have pre-patch on the top, post-patch on the bottom, and you can definitely see that the laser on the bottom is significantly brighter. That's a really solid beam now, and honestly, it's hard to miss this laser now. Whereas pre-patch, depending on the lighting environment you were in, it was actually fairly easy to not really pick up on the fact that there was a laser going across your screen. Next up, I wanted to have a look at the laser type that helps with hipfire recoil control, hipfire accuracy, and sprint to fire time, with the con being the laser is visible from the hip. And this one was quite a surprising result. As we can see here, post-patch, it almost looks like a lightsaber coming out of your gun. That is insanely bright now and impossible to miss. So that was a really big nerf to this particular style of laser. And it is worth noting, I forgot to capture pre-patch with Canted laser. This is exactly what the Canted laser looks like as well. So just be aware of that one. The Canted laser is also far more visible than it was pre-patch. Now, having said that, there is something quite interesting that I found here, and this is with the laser type that's one step down from the OLE-V or 7mW. This will have different names depending on the gun that you're using, but it might be called the AccuShot 5mW, or it may be called the Corio LEZ44. This is the one that helps with aim down sight speed and aiming stability at the cost of having the laser visible while aim down sight, but it doesn't help with sprint out time. It turns out with this one, based on my testing, it actually didn't change with this update, and therefore it's now significantly more dim than the ones that I've already shown off to you. And if you are somebody that typically would use that OLE-V style laser, I'd actually recommend making the switch to this style of laser instead. Sure, you won't get that sprint out improvement that you used to get, and if sprint out time is a really high priority, you can stick with the OLE-V laser. But if sprint out's not super high on your list, I'd actually recommend dropping back to this one, because you do get the exact same benefit to your aim down sight speed, and I believe the aiming stability benefit is the same as well, but that one is a little bit harder to quantify. But yeah, that is a big thing to know now after these updates. This particular laser style didn't seem to get a nerf. I don't know if this is intentional. This may end up changing in the future if they realize that they didn't nerf this alongside the others. But at least until then, I definitely recommend making this switch. And then one final note I wanted to point out here is, what about the lasers that don't state that they are visible? Well, it turns out with these ones, they haven't changed at all. You still won't be able to see the laser beam at all, as intended. However, you can see the dot where the laser is projected, so wherever you're aiming at, the enemy could potentially see that dot, but that's highly unlikely in a real game situation that they're going to be seeing that. So with these ones, you don't really have to worry, nothing changed at all with them. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's really quick video. I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware that these lasers did get nerfed pretty significantly, at least most of them, but turns out not all of them. And this is where I want to hear from you guys in those comments down below. What do you think about this change to the lasers with Season 3? For me personally, I feel like maybe they bumped this a little bit too far, and I wouldn't mind seeing like a middle ground between pre-patch and post-patch, but that is just me, and I do want to hear what you guys think about it down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.